Hey there, story lovers. Did you know you've already heard thousands of stories today? No way, you say? Well, think again. That funny thing your friend told you at lunch? That's a story. That commercial about talking cats selling cat food? Yep, that's a story too. Even that excuse you told your mom about why your room isn't clean yet, sorry, but that's definitely a story. Today we're going on an adventure to discover why our brains are totally obsessed with stories. Seriously, we humans are like story-hungry zombies, except instead of brains, we crave tales. Whether it's books, movies, TikToks, or even those weird dreams where you're flying to school on a giant pickle, we just can't get enough of them. Let's time travel way back to when humans first started telling stories. Picture this, it's nighttime, there's a cozy fire going, and your great-great-great, times a million, grandparents are sitting in a cave, sharing tales about how they escaped from a huge woolly mammoth that day. They're not just bragging about their cool mammoth dodging moves, they're actually teaching others how to survive. That's right, stories were like the very first YouTube tutorials. Now, here's something super cool about our brains. When we hear a story, our brain doesn't just sit there like a potato. It lights up like a Christmas tree. Scientists have discovered that when someone tells us a story, our brain starts acting like we're actually in the story. If I tell you about running from a T-Rex, which I totally did last weekend, by the way, your brain activates the same areas as if you were really running. How awesome is that? But wait, it gets even better. Stories are like secret brain ninjas that sneak past our, yeah whatever, detector. When someone tells you eating vegetables is good for you, your brain might go, boring, next please. But when you hear about a superhero who gets their powers from magical broccoli? Now that's something your brain wants to hear more about. Here's why stories are like superpowered brain food. First, they help us make sense of this crazy, mixed-up world. Imagine trying to understand why your best friend is mad at you. Pretty tricky, right? But if you think about it like a story, Chapter 1, The Day of the Lost Pencil, suddenly it's easier to understand what happened and how to fix it. Stories also help us feel all the feelings without actually having to go through scary or dangerous stuff. It's like having a feelings simulator. When we read about a character being brave, our brain practices being brave too. It's like going to the gym, but instead of lifting weights, we're lifting emotions. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. Last year, she was super nervous about starting middle school. But then she read this book about a kid who not only survived middle school but became a secret superhero who could turn homework into pizza. Okay, I made that last part up, but wouldn't it be amazing? Even though the story wasn't real, it helped Sarah feel braver about facing her own first day. Stories are also like memory superglue. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to remember all the details of your favorite movie, but somehow memorizing multiplication tables feels impossible? That's because our brains love packaging information in story form. It's like the difference between trying to carry 100 marbles in your hands versus putting them in a cool marble carrying machine. Here's something mind-blowing. Every culture in the world tells stories. Whether you're in New York or New Delhi, Tokyo or Timbuktu, people are sharing tales about heroes, magical creatures, and why the sky is blue. It's like we're all connected by this invisible story web. And stories aren't just in books or movies. They're everywhere. Social media? That's just millions of tiny stories floating around in the internet soup. Video games? Interactive stories where you get to be the hero. Even that history test you're studying for is really just a bunch of stories about people who lived a long time ago, though maybe with fewer dragons than we'd like. Let's try something cool. Think about your favorite story, maybe it's a book, a movie, or even a joke. Got it? Now, why do you love it so much? Is it because it makes you laugh? Because it shows you that ordinary kids can do extraordinary things? Or maybe because it has a talking penguin who solves mysteries? Stories change the way we see everything. After reading about a kind character, we might be nicer to our little sister, well, maybe. After watching a movie about someone standing up to bullies, we might feel braver about standing up for ourselves. Stories are like magical glasses that help us see the world in new and exciting ways. So next time someone tells you to stop daydreaming or get your head out of that book, you can tell them you're actually doing important brain training. You're learning about life, practicing feelings, and connecting with people across time and space, all through the power of stories. Now it's your turn. In the comments below, share a story that changed the way you think about something. Maybe it's a book that made you want to become a scientist, or a movie that helped you understand your friend better. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos about how our amazing brains work. And remember, every time you share a story, you're passing along a tiny piece of magic. How cool is that?